We are in a hand cannon meta right now in the Crucible, and with so many choices, it's hard to know what to look for. Well, today, we will be going over the options that I think are actually viable for endgame PvP, and how they stack up against the competition. First of all, it's safe to say the sandbox is currently dominated by 140 and some 120 hand cannons, and this is for a good reason. 4 shots to kill just isn't good enough, so no 180s are going to make this list. A good place to start is looking at usage metrics. Topping the list is Rose, and if you've played recently, you'll see it in nearly every game you play. The reason it's so popular is down to a few reasons, but most of all, it has some amazing perk combinations. With Opening Shot, you can comfortably reach 100 aim assistance. Add Slide Shot, and you can get up to a staggering 100 range value. Pair this with a clean gun model and sights that most people get along with, and you have a great contender for best hand cannon in the game. Other options include Moving Target, or even Explosive Payload. This weapon has more than one perfect role, and that's what makes it so versatile and widely used. Anyone can earn this weapon through engram focusing at shacks. It also features a lightweight frame, and this is unique for a hand cannon. The extra mobility and handling is very noticeable in-game. Now Rose is a great option, but it isn't all there is. Another top option that anyone can grab is Sunshot. Sunshot is unique as a 150 hand cannon, but if you can get the feeling for it, it's one of the best hand cannons in the current PvP sandbox. You do need the catalyst for this weapon to feel super viable, but that shouldn't be too hard nowadays, and once you have it, just wow. Sunshot being a 150 gives it a slightly higher time to kill than any other hand cannon, sacrificing some range and aim assist in the process. Again, Sunshot isn't for everyone, but if you can learn the feeling, it can really shine. The exotic perk Sunburn is essentially a further enhanced version of Explosive Payload, causing opponents to flinch and dealing slight AoE damage. This paired with Sunblast, an explosion caused by final blows, leads to some really nice chain kill opportunities. For me personally, Sunshot is one of, if not the best hand cannon in the game right now. The first 120 of today is Iron Banner's Crimil's Dagger. Crimil's Dagger can roll with Precision Instrument for that true crit one body kill, which is pretty much essential on 120s to make them viable at the higher levels. But it doesn't end there. In the first column you can also roll many top tier PvP perks, including Slideways or Moving Target. Moving Target is a free boost to aim assistance, which is super noticeable in certain duels, and really makes Crimil's Dagger an S tier choice in the Crucible. It hits hard, the sight feels super clean, and the slower time to kill is made up for by the fact that you have some leniency with the 2 crit 1 body shot opportunities. Even if you aren't struggling to get a good Ignus Hammer roll, Crimil's Dagger can hold its own, and some people may even prefer it. So next we have Thorn. Thorn is another case of needing the catalyst in order to get the most out of the weapon, but once you have the increased range the catalyst offers, Thorn holds up well against the competition. Not only does Thorn feel super clean to use, the Soul Devourer buff allows you to temporarily 2-tap opponents, giving it one of the fastest time to kills of any weapon in the current sandbox. This of course relies on you getting a kill first. After getting a kill, the catalyst also provides you with an insane range buff. Chaining kills has never been easier. Yes, for the 2-tap to work you are relying on poison damage, which does take some time to finish someone off, but this rarely matters in game. It took a while for Thorn to get a catalyst, but now it's here, you should really be taking advantage of it and trying it out. It might just work out amazingly for you. A wildcard pick I have thrown onto this list is Epochal Integration. You get this weapon from some quest progression after finishing the Lightfall campaign, and the curated role is already one of the best Crucible roles you can get. But you might be wondering, what makes this hand cannon so special? Well, the origin perk on Epochal Integration is Harmonic Resonance. This perk does rely on you using a Root of Nightmare's heavy weapon alongside Conditional Finality, which does count, but it's well worth it to get the full buff, and Conditional Finality is already one of the best options in the kinetic slot. This hand cannon has the potential to have near maxed out handling and reload speed, alongside very competitive values in every other stat. If you already like running Conditional Finality, I really recommend you give this weapon a go. You could really like the unique feeling it has. No other hand cannon really feels the same as this one, so you'll never know unless you try it. Now, a very popular option is Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades has some great stats, including aim assist, and allows you to keep radar up at all times whilst using the weapon. For a lot of players, the radar alone makes Ace an amazing pick, and it is. Situational awareness is key to being successful in the Crucible. On top of this, Ace rolls with Firefly. Similarly to Sunshot, final blows result in AoE explosions that deal decent damage to any nearby targets, again leading to easier follow-up kills and good 2-on-1 potential. And this isn't everything. Ace of Spades has the exotic perk Memento Mori. Reloading after a kill grants 6 extra damage bullets at the top of your magazine. Now, on its own this doesn't increase your time to kill, but it does allow for 2 crit 1 body kills, and add on another damage buff such as Radiant, and suddenly you can 2-tap other Guardians. This is very situational and requires some build crafting, but being able to 2-tap grants an incredibly fast time to kill that your opponents just aren't going to be ready for. But you know what's better than 2-taps? 1-taps. And that's where Hawkmoon comes in. Hawkmoon's exotic perk is Paracausal Shot, allowing you to charge your final bullet in the magazine with precision hits to reach crazy damage numbers. You will have to get used to not reloading, but many 1-tap and more forgiving 2-tap scenarios pop up all the time. Hawkmoon comes from Xur with random rolls each week, allowing you to find the perfect perk for your playstyle. Opening shot, moving target, Eye of the Storm, there are so many good options that you won't have to wait long to get one of the many god rolls. Lots of players think Hawkmoon is one of the nicest feeling hand cannons to use today, with an incredibly clean weapon model and sight. It does feel very nice to use and easy to get used to. The ability to 1-tap unexpected Guardians is definitely unique and can be the difference maker in tight scenarios. It also has an incredibly well distributed stack package, so I can see why it's so widely used by a variety of players with differing playstyles. It can kind of fit into any build without any major adjustments. We have looked at some great options, but a list like this wouldn't be complete without the king of all hand cannons, Ignus Hammer. Ignus Hammer is a 120 that rolls with a precision instrument, meaning it hits incredibly hard. You can 2 crit 1 body against any tier of resilience. You will also be surprised how often you 2-tap Guardians that aren't back to full health yet. On top of this, we can roll some amazing perks to boost range and aim assist in the first column. I'm looking at Keep Away and Fragile Focus. These perks are pretty much always passively active and can give you a range stat that is pushing 100, and you can really feel it. The gun model is clean, the sights are very usable, and the recoil is super easy to get used to. There's no wonder why Ignus is so highly used at the higher levels. I will say 120 hand cannons are not for everyone, and there is a reason most meta choices are 140 in the current sandbox. But if you want something new, Ignus Hammer is probably where to look. Hand cannons truly are at the top right now, and that's all of the relevant hand cannons in the Crucible at the moment. I'm sure there are some off-meta picks that are great, and if you have a favourite, maybe mention it in the comments. And other than that, thank you for watching. Bye!